to adjourn the meeting to allow for the public session. The first item is 29A, which is a presentation from a guest speaker, Mrs. Thomas, regarding Aston. Are you okay with it?
I'd like to stand there.
I was going to say, you can now, wherever you feel comfortable.
And if I can stand there,
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Okay, well,
Do you want to mic?
we said you want to microphone.
I need a mic. I've got a big microphone.
It might be better if you use the mic so it's on the recording.
No,
Oh, well, you can put it there. It might just catch a bit. First of all, I'd like to welcome the new councillors to Anston Parish Council, and hope that they're all here for the same reason as we are, as public, and that is to serve you, to serve the public, and us to ask you to do so on our behalf. My reason for being here is because for the last 3 years we've had a festival day in Anston. It started with the Queen's Jubilee, and at that time where I live we were trying to plan a street party, but it gets very expensive to do street parties and have road closures and all sorts of things. So we abandoned it because we'd heard that Councillor Jarvis was asking for people from the local community to come forward and join in with a group who were planning to do something from the parish council. And so I was one of those people, and several of us too. We did the first one based on the Queen's Jubilee. The second one, it was the 50th anniversary of the Beatles, so we did it on the Beatles theme. And last year we did it on a sort of everything type of theme, really. We had people from Rotherham, from the Renaissance, bringing their stuff up to show people what they could make and things. We had all the health people here, we had our own groups and societies from Anston here, we had loads of stuff for the children to do free. And the reason I'm exaggerating the free is because, like all communities, Anston does have pockets of deprivation. So another reason that we want to go ahead with Anston Day is because there are families in this community who did and will always come out to an event where they haven't got to start doing this first and counting this. So that's one reason. I'm going to introduce you now to my co-chair. I'm chair of this festival group that we've so far drawn up. This is Jo.
Hello.
Jo Carr. I'm from Southampton, Jo's from Northampton, and we don't have any difference of opinion. We just believe everybody is equal. Jo's going to give you now my presentation, which I'll go through, and then if you would do me the service of not interrupting until I've finished, and then you can ask as many questions as you like. I just want to reprimand the chair for not welcoming us to this meeting tonight. And because you were new in, I'll let you off this time.
Sorry.
Don't let it happen again.
He's done well so far.
He has, yes.
And that was all my question was. I've never been before and I didn't understand what the procedure was, so if you want people to be more involved in the community, it'd be really great to sort of,
She was upset because she'd not been welcomed.
I just wanted to understand.
Yeah, the thing was we had to get through the annual
I
meeting
understand that
business
completely.
now, and then,
Yeah.
I would have...
Not a criticism, it's not a question.
Everybody.
Bearing up, or going back to what you've just said about particularly the awards night, I don't know about the quiz night. I've never been to a quiz night, so I don't know how that would fit. But while I start talking about this festival, we would love to combine an awards event with the festival if it goes ahead, because those people who have voluntarily given their services to the public, just like you're doing now, but in a less known fashion, if you like. Most volunteers are never people aren't aware of. But it'd be lovely to give them a bit of prestige, because they'd be coming to a great big gathering to get that award instead of a small one in here. It wouldn't cost anything really, because they'd just turn up and you'd be giving them the award anyway, as you would before. So anyway, that's just a bit on added on. I did send a letter to the parish council, I think you've all got a copy,
Yes.
in March, yes?
Yes, yes.
So it's more or less self-explanatory, so I won't go through that again because you've got it to refer to if you need to. In April, at the charity meeting, I also spoke verbally about why I felt it was important for us to keep Anderson Day. At that point, we'd already started talking together as a group of people who supported last year's and previous years about the fact that if you weren't prepared to run the festival again yourselves, then we would do it independently with, obviously, parish council liaison if that's what you decided. Even to the point of going out there with begging bowls if we have to and getting the money from the community. I've already been to the 4 pubs, in the 2 at the bottom and the 2 at the top. The troop has given us free room to have our meetings. The liaisons agreed to do 4 weeks of quizzes and 4 weeks of speedball, whatever that is, and donate all the proceeds from those 4 weeks to the festival. The cutler at the top, they've already got some charity organised events going on for one of the cancer charities that they're prepared to do a bit extra so that we get part of that money as well. So we're on the way, if you like, by getting that far. We really do believe this is an event for everybody to enjoy at the point of delivery. That means when you come in that, whichever gate you choose, it doesn't cost you a penny. You can come in, you can bring your picnic, you can sit down, you can enjoy the entertainment, you can talk to people, the children can do loads of activities free as well. So, you can just come in and bring your picnic, or if you prefer to have a nice afternoon tea or whatever, then we'll put that on. So at this point in time, I'm saying to you that whilst I'm here begging money from you, if you say no, we're still determined to do it. We've chosen August Bank Holiday Sunday as the date. We've chosen, it's the centenary year for Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland this year, so we would promote it as a Mad Hatter's tea party and picnic. We'd include a village bake-off. You've all seen bake-off, I'm sure, on television. So we will, you don't watch it, who said that?
No, I said it before.
We would do a section for male bakers, female bakers and children bakers, so everybody in the community can be involved in that. We did think about whether we should do grandma bakers, but they'd win, wouldn't they? So they'll have to be with two ladies, won't they? But we're doing things. So I'm here, as I say, putting more pressure on you to see how village orientated you really are. I'm a bit shocked that we've only got one woman on this council. You're nearly all men. I hope that's going to be put right when you get your 5 more people added on. If not, I'll have to come on it myself and bring these ladies from the back on as well, because we can't have this, can we?
Can I ask you, is it your idea to have a fancy dress for the kids? And did you say August Bank Holiday Sunday?
Yes.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Well, that fits in very well because the bowling club is having a fun day on that day as well.
Excuse me.
Right. Can you just leave your questions till the end, John?
Oh, sorry,
Just grab it on.
sorry.
All right.
Okay.
That's fine. And to pursue free use of this hall, we would be willing to pay for the utilities if you forced us. But if we had to pay for this hall all day, then it's just money that we're going to raise to give you, and it just seems ridiculous to me. And it's only for this year. We will do our damnedest to make sure that by the end of next year, when the festival, it will always be Bank Holiday Sunday, when the festival comes round again, that we can raise money. We've got business people on our committee, we've got 2 local businesses in different positions on the committee. We've got a chair, a co-chair, we've got a deputy chair in case me and the co-chair go off somewhere. We've got a secretary, a treasurer and 5 members elected into identified supporting roles like health and safety, risk assessments, method statements, first aid, health and safety, public liability insurance. We've also been and got some quotes on, but we're rather hoping that you might, I just heard you say your insurance was due, no, not that you insure us, but whether you would be prepared to look at asking your insurance brokers if they would be able to do it as a bit cheaper. If you could pop that down somewhere for me, I'll talk to you about it after. We've identified the statutory legal requirements for public liability insurance, as I've just said, and health and safety, first aid, risk assessment, method statement. We're just about, on Wednesday night, that's our next meeting, to finalise our constitution, and then we'll be off to get a bank account. So we're working like the flappers, because this event should have been in June, which it has been for the last 3 years. That's why we've moved to August, because we just haven't got the time to do anything. As I said, it's Anston Matatha's Tea and Picnic Festival this year. It will include a Matatha tea room, a village bake-off, lots of children's activities, musical entertainment. We're going to try and get local talent. We thought about having Anston's got talent, but we think it might just be too much to bite off this time round. But we shan't lose that. I mean, next year, who knows? So we're going to invite all our local groups and societies that use the hall, as we've done before, some that don't use the hall, but people like Brownies and guides and such people that don't use the hall, but we should still invite them free of charge to have a stall outside on, as we've done in previous years. I've also got quite a big pile of business cards. I went round all the local fetes and galas and whatever festivals last year locally, all in the vicinity, all these other villages. So we're all doing theirs again this year, by the way, without having to come through all this. And I got a load of cards from people who were standing there and they were paying £10 or £20 a throw to have the stall in that particular event that they were running. So I shall get onto my laptop or onto my tablet and send emails to those people asking them if they'd like to attend our event. There'll be a lot of things that people would have to book for, like the bake-off, obviously. So, you know, we're going to have to organise all sorts of things that we've not had to do before. But we're not worried about that. We're also going to give out a free draw ticket to every person who comes, man, woman and child, and we're going to use this as a football counting system. It's the only thing we can think of, apart from, you know, counting heads as they walk in, which seems a bit waste of manpower, isn't it? They'll get a free meal. We're going to ask the Lizard Lounge and Green Acres, Garden Centre places about offering a free breakfast to a family on a Sunday morning as a prize for that particular thing. We're also going to ask for some of the other cafes and things for afternoon teas. So apart from all that, we're going to be asking for these sorts of things for prizes or events. We're already planning these fundraising events. I should have been here on Saturday at the Horticultural Society with my bazaar, but unfortunately I had to go and have a cataract operation on Saturday afternoon, so that's why I'm not performing as well as perhaps I should tonight. Not feeling too well. It's not the cataract, it's the drops. They blur your eyes a bit. So, I'd have been here. I did wonder whether this lovely new field that the parish council bought, that none of us know what it's for, whether we might be able to organise a car boot sale or something. Sorry?
Some of us don't know either.
Oh, right. I think if we could organise a massive car boot sale up there, and all right, it could cost us a couple of postloads to do it. But I think the money you'd take on the gate, or we'd take on the gate, however it's done, would be a really big amount. And it doesn't have to be an every week thing. We could maybe do it twice in the summer or something, just to get some money rolling in. You're going to ask me in a minute why we didn't raise any money before. And I can tell you quite honestly, we were told we weren't to raise any money on that event. And we weren't given a reason. Councillor Jarvis will support this. We weren't given any reasons for why we weren't allowed to raise any money, but that's why we haven't got any money. So today I'm asking you if you're prepared to give us a grant. And we're thinking about £1,500 grant, which would pay for the insurances and all the legal stuff, and a bit left over for things that we've not thought of yet. And to, if not give us a grant, whether you could give us a loan, which we would then have to arrange to pay off over, I don't know how many years for the same amount. But either way, I still feel it's a big asset for this community. I think there are people who do need something at the end of the summer that they can come to with their families and feel they've had a nice day out and really enjoyed it. So that's me now, it's yours. Do you want to say anything, John?
No, that is very good, very good. I'll give you
I'd just like to support everything that Jim said. I think that we need to think about value for money, not just cost. I think there's a very sensible proposal from the chair earlier to consider the awards celebration within that, so you're already looking at potential saving and a bigger draw as well. And I think my other suggestion that wasn't picked up, which was to have an events committee, is an ideal way to look at it. So I think there's lots of opportunities, and I think it's something that Jim's very passionate about. I think it's really important. I think obviously if those of us who've got questions or comments, perhaps they could be included in a conversation that everybody's taking part in, and we listen to each other fairly, it'd be great. We've listened for 2 hours about other matters, and this is equally important from our opinion. So if you could ask us questions that we can answer, that would be fabulous.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say, just to clarify, the reason we've had to listen to us for that length of time is because all the business is essential that we get out of the way before we get through it.
legal requirements.
We've still got enough. No, that's fine. Gordon, do you want to?
Yes, if I may.
Do you want to do your piece?
Yes. Thank you. It's been a nice presentation. That.
Yeah, good.
I think the car park facility could be the field, and if we charge £1 a car, that would go a long way today. But I really do think that this council should support that. It brings a hell of a lot of the village together, and it costs far less than the fireworks night and the other events. Have you been around the businesses on the business estates?
We haven't yet, Gordon.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Joe and her husband are in the chamber as well, so they're hoping to get
Right.
wide
Yeah. Yeah.
sponsorships as well.
So yes, I think we really should sponsor these.
I'm very conscious that the meeting's actually going to run out of time soon, so I'll be quick. First of all, I think it's very commendable what you're trying to achieve. That's the first thing, and I personally would support you doing the Sandston Day. I've got a couple of questions. The first one is, how many people attended last year?
3,500.
How many?
3,500.
Thank you. And you said it was going to cost, or you were asking us for £1,500. How much do you think the whole event would cost? And how much would you raise, and you're expecting us to sort of help you
We
with?
think the whole event would probably cost about 1,200, but as I said, we want a safety net as well.
Yeah.
Inside of it.
So,
To pay for.
yeah, I'm sure it pays a lot. Yeah, you made that very clear what it pays for. I think what we've got to be conscious of a parish council is the finances that the public entrust us with. And whilst it's I think we should support it. It's a very good event. I think what we've got to do is look at the fact there is no money budgeted for this. So if we,
But
if
there
we,
is a budget surplus, I understand.
no, there's a deficit.
Well,
But,
we were told
but,
so.
well, that figures don't say that to me, but the point is that I think what we've got to do as a parish council is look at how we can support it financially, if we can support it. And I personally would support the whole event.
Thank you very much. Are you saying then that you're going to let us take this event and run with it?
That's up to the parish council.
Yeah, I mean, for an event to be a public event and involve people with Anston, I would support that. I would support that. However, as Ivan just quite rightly said, there's a cost involved. We haven't budgeted for this year. It started at 1,500 and went up to 2,000, although you say you're only asking for 1,500. I have lots of concerns. It's happened in the past. There was a committee formed to run this, and it did have the support of the council. But the council, again, never saw anything what was going on. We never saw any plans, we never saw any insurances, we never saw nothing. And there's quite a lot of, should we say, things that really need to be clarified. I would argue, at this stage, because we're only in a discussion phase anyway, we're not in an actual council meeting, we cannot commit to any finance at this moment whatsoever. I would suggest the people involved need to contact the chair and the council with a fully laid out plan of how you're going to pay for your insurance, your fire risks, your ambulance and all that. Once we have a plan in place, I think that's the time then we will be able to sit down and have a sensible discussion on whether we can find finance. And to just be quite clear, whoever told you that we have a surplus, it was wrong. We don't have a surplus, and maybe that person shouldn't be telling you that. I think it should be deferred until we get. I think we should defer it until we get proper plans in front of us.
So I'd just like to respond to councillor's concerns, and I understand what you're saying about budget. We all understand the austerity climate that we live in, and we're not about wasting money. I completely understand about a fully costed and fully planned out schedule. We're halfway there already. Most of it's in place. We came along tonight because that's been a lot of time that June had been given for the next opportunity to discuss it. Really wanted to tell you what we're doing, and we'll be able to do that and bring that back to the 18th of June. So if you can offer us an opportunity, 15th of June, as you've talked about, we can have that ready by then. Because otherwise, we don't want to delay and end up not being able to get things ready in time. So, all the considerations that Councillor Thornton has raised, we agree with and understand, and we can have that information ready by the 15th.
So just really, just leave it at that. Yeah, we're just trying to sort out how we fit it on the agenda. Mike was suggesting that can you get something to us before the 3rd of June?
Yeah.
Agenda.
Sure.
Is that right?
Yes, I think
Yeah, we need a few days before. As soon as you can get that to us, we'll put that on the agenda. Because we've still got a lot of stuff to work through here. It's trying to prioritise how we build that. I mean, there's some items on here tonight, planning, applications, things like that we know we get to. In fact, some of the time we've been waiting to discuss has already been granted and they'll probably be built by the time we get through there. By the time we get
They'll probably be built, so. I don't. Well, I appreciate that. But, I appreciate that, but we need. Do you want to just come in then, Miles, and then I'll.
That's one point. But just for accuracy, can Councillor Thornton be absolutely clear things he wants to come back? So it's written, it's fire risk.
No, it's I would like to see. I mean, right. Well, I'd like to see, and it's up to the rest of the council, is a fully.
Can we just
fully laid out plan, and that's to include everything: your fire risks, your evacuation plans, your first aid plans, everything you can think of, health and safety.
Are there any particular concerns that you've got?
All of them, because in the past we've never had no information on these events in the past. Could I suggest, to be helpful, and again I'm looking at the clerk, if maybe you have a quick word with Siobhan, because Siobhan's got experience in dealing with events.
Excuse me. Hey, Val, please, both. Excuse me.
Yeah, for 3 minutes.
Come on, can we just
If you have a word with Siobhan, she has excuse me, I'm speaking. If you have a word with Siobhan, she has experience of doing our bonfire events, which are quite complicated.
We have got your health and safety rules, we've got your first aid, we've got your risk assessment, we've got the method statement requirements, we've got the ones that were used last year by this parish council. All right, no one's adapting if we're running on our own.
Can I
Yeah,
just...
but they're not ours. You need to bring your own.
Yes, we will, but we'll work on those.
Excuse me, Miles, and then I'll let on, but then we cut it short.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to just speak then,
I
Miles?
was going to make a similar suggestion that you made, that because of timing, that we should try and get this on the agenda for next meeting to confirm, or at least if we can, us as a group can meet at some point before then, even to discuss this, if that's doable.
So it's going to have to be the 3rd. That's 2 weeks earlier than the 15th. You come back there. We did, just to slightly digress, I just suggest that events committee, which I think is something we need to look at, because for the whole of these last few items that we've been discussing, try and pull it all together. Because at the moment it's that disparate, it's not working properly. There are that many people going off at tangents that there's no, it's ought to be coherently thought about, so we can look at making it more economic and getting better value for money, and everybody gets something out at the end of the day. So I think that's something we need to look at. But I know we did at the annual parish meeting, we did say about £500 grant, didn't we, or giving some money to Ali to start up and then pay it back eventually. And I just said from my point of view, this is the last bit on it now, as a borough councillor, I will, if you ask me nicely, I will give you some community leadership fund money. Once you've got everything set up in that, and there are 2 other ward councillors as well that I would hope would contribute. So I would be hoping we're looking at probably £300 at least from the 3 of us towards it, which will actually take some of the pressure off the parish council where we can determine. So if you want to, if you come back before that, by what date would you like, Michael? End of May? Yeah, end of May, if you can get that back to Michael. If you want to speak to Siobhan or Stuart suggested, anything like that, have a word with her. There are other items we need to address about Wrexham Meadows and stuff like that. I think we're probably trying to get too much done this year, but I think this is something that we need to look at longer term as to how we use, because we've got a large amount of grass up there that's just growing, and that's all it's doing. It's serving no use to the parish whatsoever for what it's costing us, and I think everybody would like to see some return from that, if better use. So if I thank you for your presentation. I say if you can get...
How many people would support?
Well, as I said,
running on our own.
Yeah, I agree with Ivan. I'll support it in Miles, and it's up to other people what they think about it. They can come back and you don't want the answer now. Do you want that on the 3rd of June? You find out. Yeah. Well, I think in general there is support for it because it's a parish community event, and I think going back many years, they used to have them down here in the 20s and 30s for the Sheffield Hospital. They used to have them every year when it was fancy dress and things like that. And that was a big event in the village. Just one other thing, how long were you looking to run it for? Longer than the 3 or 4 hours you've had before?
We've done it 12 till 6.
Right. Yeah, well, no, that's fine. I said the longer the better, I think, if you give people more time with it. So, as I said, thank you very much for your presentation. If you can get that through to us, we'll consider it on the next time. Okay, thank you. Right, sorry folks about that. We've got to 29B, which is allow questions related to Anston Parish Council Recreation Ground, which will be related to the charity. Has anybody any questions on the charity? Right, all right. Can I just clarify that? We did have a question about the debt. I think at the last, that will be on the next charity meeting agenda on the 3rd of June. It will be up for, yes, it will be on that one. I'm informed. Okay. Christine, you want to ask a question? Just members of the public, sorry, unless you want to step down. If you're valid enough, you want to step down. Yeah, if it's a charity question, you can put that on the charity agenda, Christine, for the 3rd of June.
Okay.
As a councillor, then it will get discussed. Okay. Sorry, yeah.
Will we be having those debts laid out as I've been asking for? Will we having them laid out in full?
Is this a charity question? It is, isn't it?
It's £8,000 that's outstanding, this debt. Our money.
It's...
It keeps getting belted away.
I appreciate, yes, I'm aware of that. We need
Not
to,
this meeting down.
it's, well,
It's come to this meeting.
the clerk has said it will be on the agenda for the 3rd of June, charity agenda. Well, it will be. He said it is. It will be. Just question?
Yeah, just when you talk about charity chair, what is the charity?
Well, that's for another time. I know that's
So that's
the body that that's the body that administers
I'll
the
explain
welfare
to you later.
grounds
Thank you.
and this hall and all the facilities. It actually belongs to the Anston
Yes, indeed.
Parish Council Recreation Ground. Actually own all this. The Parish Council doesn't own anything other than the library.
So the lady's referring to an £8,000 debt that is a debt that belongs to the charity.
It's indirectly to the Parish Council, because the Parish Council, it's a very complicated
I'm sure it is.
system, and you'll probably find out about it.
I've worked with her.
It's not straightforward, put it that way. Any other questions regarding charity, Sandra?
Are we any nearer getting a bin for children to put the rubbish in on the charity skate park that keeps, going from meeting to meeting?
I couldn't give you an answer on that one. You've thrown me a deep end on that. I don't know.
Well, it's been brought up.
I know it has, and it's been brought up, but I don't know. I don't know where we are
4 times
with that
they've
at
been
all.
in this meeting.
Can we put that again on? We'll make sure that's on the
They
3rd.
have to throw the rubbish off the floor and they don't want to.
We'll make sure that's on the 3rd of June meeting on the charity agenda. I'll try and get you an answer for that. Okay.
And are we having some, now we've lost them, to help with the skate park, which has been ongoing for over 10 years. Have we got some, can Stuart come back on now and help, we need to get
I
funding
think you
for that.
need.
We've got a skate park out there that is not fit for purpose. And we
Oh, I
need to
think-
get moving on these bits.
Well, I don't know where we stand on this. I mean, Miles has been leading on this, and Councillor Dalton was, but Councillor Dalton.
We've got a
It is,
meeting tomorrow.
that is a council issue and not a charity, that one. It goes the other way, that one.
It is open to the public, so anyone is welcome to come.
Well,
to
can I ask you to bring an update on that, or just keep, because I'm
They
sure
usually do, don't they?
new councillors aren't aware of about the skate park and everything else, so I think they need to be brought up to speed on it.
Excuse me,
Yes.
Chair, could
Yeah, we need to talk about it.
Might just summarize, the next council meeting, we need to reconfigure that, because obviously people have been and gone that were involved in it, and I don't know where we stand, so I think you perhaps need to speak to.
It's a
Mark
charity
about
thing,
it,
isn't
because
it,
we
really,
need to
anyway?
set some rules up as to who does what, where and when on that one, so we
Yeah.
can take that forward. Sorry,
Yeah, thank you. Could we have an update on the status of the budget, please, for the skate park?
As in, for the funding, or is it? I mean,
as I just said, that's a full council issue and not a charity one. So, but Miles, I would ask Miles but the parish council is supporting that at this moment. So again, Miles, I would like if we can, I know I'm putting this on you, but if you can bring everything up to date, because hopefully by 3rd we will have whoever other members of the council coming on, hopefully will be there by then, so it will be beneficial to bring it to everybody's, and any other costings that we're not aware of, so we can be up to date. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any representations regarding planning applications within the civil parish of Anston? I have one. It's later on the agenda, but we're not going to get to the planning application part of the agenda. It relates to the crofts at South Anston, which I think we've had another letter from planning. It's come back again asking for further comments, and I think the time expires on Thursday, Friday this week, for another 14 days, because they have to make a determination fairly quickly on that, because it's been on the books I think since January, and they've had lots of alterations that have gone off. I've objected to that as a ward council all the way through, and I know the parish council did originally. I'd like to ask if members are happy that it's the one on the cross Mr. Beresford's. I can't make it sound right.
What?
Yes, from Martin. We've had representation from another individual asking us to consider this. I'm just trying to take advice from Michael. So I would like us to get something there, but I don't know whether we can. Can we do it in this meeting?
What number is it, Clive?
Yeah.
Clive, what number?
Are we? Can I just ask people? It is 9:30. Is anybody? Are you? Can I suggest that we extend? Is anybody happy to stop to try and get through a few more for another half an hour?
Can we try and pick the important ones?
Well, I'm just going to say whether we can do a bit of cherry picking and get the ones out of the way that we perhaps need to do. Yeah. Can I propose that we extend? I just want people to. Is everybody happy with 30 minutes? Can you?
Yeah.
Not got anything to rush on to?
Tea.
Oh, tea. Well, that's fine. No, that's very important. Breakfast, I think, might be. Can I have a proposal then to extend it to 30 minutes? John, second. All those in favour? Right, thank you. We'll soldier on. Okay, so yeah, can we, has everybody, it was this email to everybody about the cross. It was one from Sandra Martin to Andrew West to Michael to me. I think it was, everybody have it? No? 9 plots off Worksop Road, Southampton, which is the old bungalow site that belonged to Mr. Beresford, the butcher at Southampton. We've objected to this before. This has put nine dwellings on that particular site right next to the A57. It is. I think it is in there actually.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, let's bypass that then, and we'll get to the planning applications in general, because they're not far off. So if we can make a bit of progress, so we'll take that under planning applications. Item D, allow one question per lecture of the civil parish of Anston on a topic for which the parish council has a responsibility or which affects the parish. Are there any questions? Mr. Thomas.
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of Gary Luntz, the Barger, who's been here tonight, we've got another meeting. He would like to ask the progress in the refurbishment of the village hall. And if it's going ahead, it would be very interested in joining any working group involved in the project. He feels that
it is. If I just give you an update, because I was involved with that as Councillor Dalton and Councillor Jarvis. I've got to collect a revised set of plans for that. We did promise to go out to consultation January, February, but the architect who reviews couldn't meet those timescales for various reasons. I've got to collect those. It is a charity issue, but I'm more than happy for him to be involved if he wants to. The more the merrier, especially we are going to consult with groups that use the hall and in fact the entire building, and also the pavilion, the football club. So we need to set that up. So it's something that's going to be on the next agenda. Hopefully, I'll bring that back. But if you just pass it on to him that we are looking for people to have some input into that, and I welcome his help if he's interested. Okay. The next step would hopefully to consultation and then planning application. And if we get that means we can start applying to funding bodies, because we're not going to be able to afford it ourselves. That is, we've bought a greenfield. We should have spent it on this, quite frankly. That's my view, but it serves more people in the parish. So we need to get to that stage, and that enables us to apply for funding bits from the lottery, etc., sporting. So we need to move that on. But if you pass that back to, and it will be on the charity agenda on the. It's starting to get longer in a minute, but yeah. So that's where we are on that. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Kavanagh.
I'd just like to say quite as a member of the community that in 2012 I've heard tonight of 3 different events in the community, 2,500 pounds. I think it's a very small amount of money for 3 major events in the village. while these events are happening. That is one of the big reasons for these events.
I don't, I'd say, I mean, I don't know, I don't have any disagreement with that.
I'm just saying, I'm just making...
No, I appreciate what you're saying.
We don't want to say it's a very good, all these events are very good for them to put themselves forward to members of the public.
Well, we should, I mean, that's the reason, I don't know everybody else, but that's the reason I'm here, to actually work with members of the community, because I think it's something that we've sadly lost over the last few years, and I think we've got more and more divorce from maybe Rotherham as such, and I think we're going to be more reliant on ourselves in future, so I think we need to look to doing and organising things ourselves, and I'm hopefully, I've got one or two people on the council now that are going to have some input into this and you know, show some enthusiasm for doing that. So, Ivan, do you want to have a...
Yeah, I agree. I said earlier I supported these events, but I think if we are going to help fund them, and you're right, £2,500 isn't a lot of money, it means that we're going to have to maybe cut out some of the non-essential things elsewhere that are not health and safety or not essential to the service of the parish council run. I think people need to be aware of that as well. So other things are going to have to be cut a little bit if we're going to support things that people obviously feel a priority, including yourself, Kevin.
I think we need to look at the budget for next year and maybe tweak it, move stuff about to enable us to fund some of these items, and again, stuff that's non-essential spending that we rein back on that, you know, and put it into other areas of the village where more people are going to get benefits. So I don't disagree with you at all on that.
No, I have to say I just thought you were benefits to councils and members of the public.
No, but you're quite right. Any other questions? No? Yeah, no, you can ask it.
I just think that, you know, bearing in mind that you talked earlier, you know, there's quite a lot of discussion about £200 allowance, you know, you're talking about £100 a year, and, you know, we're only asking for £1,500. You've already, if you've done it with that £100 that you talked about from the chair of the last, you're already £100 there. If you go, it's like general housekeeping, if you go through your list of budget, I'm sure, you know, it's that priority, I understand, but I think there's money probably to be made. I think made a very, very astute point, which people have to accept they can't pay for everything.
Well, as I say, as long as people are aware of that, I think we have to convey that message to people in the village. That,
can I just comment quickly?
We'd love to do everything.
It is going to be an issue for us. I'll do it quick, just in a short time. It's not just in the context of the £100 anything there is. If the money is saved not next year, the year after, we're going to £30,000 down on the budget for the grants we received from Rotherham, which was done by the people from the last council. This next year budget, we're going to have to be making some severe cuts to cover costs. And this is why, although we're saying we're agreeing principally to the event, funding is going to be a major issue.
Fully aware of that. I understand the gravity of it. I've worked in the public sector for many years, and I've worked in an environment club. I think it's about understanding what's important. It's about prioritising how to make tough decisions, and I think that's part of anybody's public you have to make those decisions. But yeah, I fully accept what you're saying.
Okay. Right, move on then. Item E, which is through the chairman to allow ward members, if present, to address any questions raised by the public related to RMBC matters, etc., etc. No, I see that I'm only RMBC ward member here, then it would fall to me.
I've got something only you can ask for me. Can I ask you now?
Yeah.
Because you did before.
Yeah.
I'd like an explanation from the commissioners who found Rotherham Borough not fit for purpose, and being our Rotherham Borough Labour Party members, why have they permitted the same people who they've declared as not fit for purpose to be re-elected to come back on Borough Council? That, I mean, to me that's crazy.
Can I
we've got borough councillors that have now been re-elected, and they were the ones that were sacked last month. Why?
Well, if I'm just asking you, if you email, you know what you did before, if you email me that question, then I will send it to the managing director.
Well, I asked them on that meeting if I'm invited to go to it on the 11th.
Yeah. Right. Do it by email. I said, do the question by email, and then
I'll do it
I'll forward that to you soon.
Because it seems like convicts in
Well-
charge of prison.
Okay, no, there's no problem. If you email me that, John, I'll do that like I did last time, okay? Nothing on that, is there? Oh, well, only, yeah, Parish Council, want to stress any questions? I think we've done that. Yeah, we did it straight away, so we've bypassed that. Right, can I move on? So that's public session finished. If we can